If you are struggling with your husband in any way, you're struggling with seeing him make the money that you know that he could be making and should be making, you are struggling with seeing his healthy masculinity and leading and having a vision, I'm about to share something with you that you are probably not going to want to hear, but it will absolutely change your life and change your marriage. I don't care how irritated you are with the circumstance with your husband. Watch your mouth. When the Bible says that life is in the power of your tongue, I need you to run with that life. I am telling y'all, when my husband came into my life, this man was not making six figures when he got married to me, and I understood the power of my tongue. He was making that effortlessly. That's just one of the examples. When it comes to leadership, when it comes to building a vision, when it comes to seeing what you want to see out of your husband, there is a way that you can speak to the seed that is already within. Let me be very clear. I am talking to women that did not choose. Y'all know. You chose a decent man, okay? We're not talking about trying to make a frog into a king. We're talking about someone that is decent, that loves the Lord, that has a seed already within him, and you can see where God is trying to take him. You water that with your words. And until you grow up and understand that marriage is a grown woman's game. It's not no little girl pit pat. Oh, you ain't what I thought you was going to be. It's not one of them. Once you understand you are a grown woman, step into your position, daughter of God, you will see your husband be exactly who God intended him to be.
Listen, I work with men all day. I've met some amazing men. And then I still can't seem to figure out what runs through their brains. Like, they don't think, oh, we just met, you should come over. What the f***? Like, I don't know you from Adam. What in your right mind thinks that a woman would feel safe enough to just go to your house or you to come over that you don't know? Just because you find each other attractive? That should be good enough. What happened to courting? No one courts anymore. And it's sad. Because especially when a woman has her together mentally, physically, like emotionally, financially, pays her own bills, does everything on her own, and you're just like, oh yeah, we should sleep together. Like, grow the up. Bring her some flowers. Find out stuff about her. Learn her tics, her likes, her dislikes, and just automatically, guys, just think they deserve to get in your pants. For what? You didn't even try. It's been over a year since I've been on a date, but yet these men think that, like, just because they find me attractive and I find them attractive, like, that should be enough. No, you gotta work for this shit, man.
Kind of funny when you think about it that women get so outraged about men wanting women to text first and plan dates and show any level of reciprocation. It's almost like these women forget that men need emotional support and that men are actually human beings that need emotional love and affection in return. And some of these women will actually withhold love and affection until these men make it official. And when you really think about it, if women are withholding love and affection or any kind of reciprocal energy to make men act a certain way or do certain things or to make it official, is that not manipulative because you're basically changing your behavior to get a certain outcome? Make sense. But at the same time, women want princess treatment without ever getting a ring. So let me get this straight. You're not going to show up in a relationship until it's official, but you expect him to show up in a relationship before it's ever official. Yeah, seems fair. And what's also funny is the amount of women that call men gay or sassy or say that men are on their period if they want any kind of love and affection, because that's almost like saying that you don't like being a girl or you find it insulting that women need so much emotional support. Calling a man, showing any kind of effort, planning a date, putting in any kind of reciprocal energy towards a man is literally the bare minimum for women, and it's in. Y'all come on here all day long and talk about the bare minimum, but you can't even meet the bare minimum for what men expect in relationships. And yet, Some of y'all can't understand why you're still single. Okay, bye.
My drizzle brothers, drizzle unto you. And I have 3 icks, being in my soft guy era, that I want to bestow upon you. And you stitch this video and tell me your icks. Here we go. Ick number 1. Student loan debt. Nah, baby, we can't have no ops like the Department of Education. Those be the feds. You got to take care of them before I can mess with you. It's so nasty, so disgusting if you got student loan debt. I can't even get with that. I can't deal with you, baby, with student loan debt. Pay that off first, all right? Ick number 2. You still got a mortgage? You telling me you so broke you didn't pay your whole house off at one time? You got a 30-year mortgage? Baby, I don't plan to be with you for 30 years. And I'm going to need my half of the house that I didn't pay for when you sell it, when we break up. I'm going to need my half, baby. So I need you to have a house that's fully paid off. And number 3, since I'm passenger Prince Hakeem, when you pick me up, I'm going to need to make sure that all of your car maintenance is done. I need the car clean, no check engine lights on, no bald tires. See, the passenger Prince Hakeem can't be out here sliding around on some bald Walmart tires just because you didn't want to spend the money to keep me safe. Let me know your icks, brothers. Drizzle. Soft guy era.
A lot of modern women continue to say that men aren't putting forth effort. Yes, I am. I'm just not giving you the effort because you on some BS.
Went to a singles mixer, and only women showed up.
Duh. Like, why? Okay, dudes who get women wouldn't go to a mixer because they already get women. They just exist and they get women. And then dudes who don't get no women, they're not gonna go to a rejection buffet. They already taking L's in the DMs and on the streets and everywhere else.
I can't even lie. He's really telling some truth in there. And this is coming from a guy that was going to those singles mixers. Those events can get really interesting. Especially for me being new to the dating scene and stuff like that. It was always weird for me to go to an event and it'd be like 30 women and only maybe like 6 dudes. So statistically, you're like, oh, the odds are in my favor, but it's a lot going on. One, you have to have confidence to be in that situation. So if you ever have any esteem issues or anything like that, you will not thrive in that environment. And the second thing is, and I'll say for me, it was always a thought, okay, one, is there anybody here that actually is catching my eye that's visually attractive? Because that's, to be honest, at some of these events, it's not a lot of it. So she's physically attractive for one. Does she have good energy? Okay, cool. Now, is there anybody else? Because if I talk to this girl, that's probably going to X out my ability to talk to this other girl because they've all seen there's only maybe 4 to 6 men here. So they're keeping an eye out for us in these environments too. So if I talk to her, that's probably going to any chance I have with anybody else in the room, or else I'm going to keep hearing, so what made you choose me? I saw you talking to the other girl. And that's not something we want to do. So that's the stuff that goes through my mind when I was going to those events.
Ladies,
even on the day of giving thanks, boy, these think pieces do not stop. Your discretion is advised.
if you decided to go 50-50 with a man and now you guys are happily married or engaged and you're paying 50% of the bills, he's paying the other 50, but somehow you found yourself in the kitchen this holiday doing 100% of the cooking and cleaning, congratulations, babe, you've been scammed.
And scene. Fellas, if you go 50-50 with your woman and now you guys find yourself happily married or happily engaged, and at any point in time in your relationship, you find yourself doing 100% of any maintenance for the cars in a relationship, congratulations, you've been scammed. You know how stupid that sounds? Why can't women want to do things for their men? I know so many women that take pride in going in that kitchen and taking care of business, making sure everybody gets fed properly and that they enjoy the meal. It gives them some kind of joy. But you, on the other hand, say, oh, no, they must be scammed. How? Why? What is y'all issue with people that go 50-50? At some point in time, you're going to have to do 100% of something. At some point in your relationship, it's going to happen. And so just because she decided to get in the kitchen and take care of business and make a wonderful meal for her family, she's been scammed? The projections on some of you, I just don't understand it. If you are so happy, if you know that, oh, I'm not going 50-50 with nobody, I ain't got to deal with none of that, why can't you just do that in peace? Why can't you allow the people that do want to go 50-50 to do their own thing in peace? Why must you get on here and make such an of yourself for someone that claims to be so happy with the decision. You can't possibly be. You spend more time talking about other people's situations than your very own. That's how I know a lot of y'all are not really happy. But you know what? Fortunately for y'all, you ain't gotta listen to shit I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep it change.
First off, I didn't have a message for black women. My message is actually for the men. And it's to show the men what the women do that they already know. And it's easy to prove it. It's just like if you wanted to prove that white people who keep saying that they're not racist are racist by simply putting a mask over the resume and then showing up at the job and see if they treated you differently than when they read the resume and they thought you were white. That way you have actual proof on tape. So what I would have had was actual proof on tape that in a discussion where people were talking about this is why women aren't being approached. If these people gave a crap, they would listen, even when it's stuff they don't want to hear, which is why I gave the example of if you're a Jewish person, you better listen when the Nazis talk. But instead, I was told, so are you threatening us? So they don't ever want to listen. And I proved it to the men that the people that sit here and say they actually do want to have a conversation with you won't, because you found every excuse to not listen. And there's no reason to do that. And if we really wanted to have a true conversation amongst people, we'd actually want to play in the space of people who disagree. I want someone to challenge what I've said, specifically what I've said. Ask me to prove it, and I will. I stand 100% on everything I say and can prove it. And that's why y'all go to the language and how it was said and whatever. But it's never, what did he say that was wrong? Inaccurate, not factual. And that's what I showed.
Men have started going their own direction and quit fixing the mistakes and the foolishness. And some of the stuff is not even a mistake. It's just you doing whatever you want to do and expecting a man to save you. And when I, as a man, have stopped doing that, my life has gotten a lot better.
I went from single to married in 6 months, and I wanted to give some advice to my smart, independent, ambitious ladies out there who are looking to marry a provider, but you are afraid that if you marry a provider, you're going to lose your independence, and you definitely don't want to be a gold digger. Here are some tips that I have for you. The first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to undo the years of programming that programmed you into thinking that men are bad, men are evil, there's no good men out there. There are so many healthy, good, loving provider men out there who want to cherish you as a woman. Like I said, this is not about gold digging or using a man for money. This is about allowing yourself to be fully expressed in your feminine energy. It's about feeling supported and loved and protected by the masculine. And it's about being a woman with options, being able to work and make your own money and be supported and provided for by your husband. Because you can have both, but the first thing you need to do is you need to heal your relationship with the masculine. Men are here to love, protect, defend women. And that was the first thing that I had to do. I had so many unhealed trauma from my past. I was a super toxic, man-hating feminist before, and I had to do all of that healing work to be able to attract a loving provider, healthy man. I'm going to be doing more videos on this topic on my page, so make sure you give me a follow.
What is your body count?
0.
Yeah. Why is it still 0?
Because I think this is something that should be done in a relationship, just personally for me, because I'm still young, and the generation, also our generation, they're very unserious, and I think this is something not special, but still special, and yeah, maybe it won't be like and I think this is like a soul connection. Yeah,
you try to keep
only, but it's a soul connection for me.
So you try to keep it low, or even have only one in your life?
This is the dream, to have only one in your life, but it doesn't matter if it's maybe 2, because you meet people and you maybe think that they're the right ones, but then you realize maybe they're not the one, but then it's okay, you know, because I trusted the person, I loved the person, and that's okay then.
Very noble mindset, either.
Thank you.
But what do you think is like the maximum body count a woman should have?
There is no maximum body count a woman should have, or a man. Like, it's everything is all right. Everyone should do.
But don't forget, before you said a man should not have more than 5.
The man I would date. The people, the men who want to do what they want, it's not my business. They could do whatever they want. It's just for me personally, when I am with a person, they shouldn't be like over 5, yeah. But everyone can do whatever they want. It's not my business.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill, they just postponed it, and the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose, because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate, it isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem, abandoning it was.
Well, honestly and truly, most of these modern women want to get their hearts broken by Chad and Tyrone. For the rest of us who actually want to improve on ourselves, we're going to go somewhere else and do that. And that's what today's sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle, helps you to do.
Man is much more likely to commit suicide after a divorce. Now you could come back and say Pearl's the bad guy because, well, the men are also, they might commit suicide if they're fat, broken, alone. Why would the laws change if the politicians make money off of the system, if lawyers make money off of the system, the media makes money off of the system, everybody makes money off of this system? And another thing I'd like to point out is that in all actuality, marriage isn't the real problem. You can get a prenup that lowers the risk of marriage. The real risk for men is having children. Again, I have spoken to divorce lawyer after divorce lawyer about this, and when men have children in this country, these children are not theirs. They have no rights to these children unless they maybe get lucky with the right judge and have the money for a lawyer that can fight it. But mind you guys, this is the exception, not the rule. And you can see this by the custody statistics, where men overwhelmingly do not get custody of their children. A man is much more likely to commit suicide after a divorce. Now you could come back and say Pearl's the bad guy because, well, the men are also, they might commit suicide if they're fat, broken, alone. Why would the laws change if the politicians make money off of the system, if lawyers make money off of the system, the media makes money off of the system, everybody makes money off of this system? And another thing I'd like to point out is that in all actuality, marriage isn't the real problem. You can get a prenup that lowers the risk of marriage. The real risk for men is having children. Again, I have spoken to divorce lawyer after divorce lawyer about this, and when men have children in this country, these children are not theirs. They have no rights.
When I got divorced, I could have pointed out all the things that she did wrong and all the things that she did to me. I could have played the victim because I ended up filing for divorce after she left and we separated. I could have just sat there and played victim. I could have pointed the finger at her and said, she did this, she did that, she did this. And I would have been right, and I would have sounded right for my side of the story. But I didn't choose that, because if I'm going to go off and continue to live my life and be good for someone else, most importantly, be good for myself and be good enough to go build the life that I want, I had to be accountable and look at myself. What did I do to contribute to that situation unfolding like it did? What did I do to hurt myself, hurt other people? I turned to myself. And when I turned to myself, that made me go right back to my childhood. That's when I got into therapy. That's when I started to work out, read, educate myself, and I started a journey of personal development because I wanted to be better. That was my second long-term relationship. I wasn't finna have a third one where I have the exact same problems. I looked at myself. I made sure that I did what I had to do to get me better. I got in shape. I got smarter. I got wiser. I made more money. I learned more about myself, which means I got more self-aware. All that. I just became a better man. Doing all this, I wasn't worrying about the other person. I was worrying about me. So when life kick your ass, when you go through divorce, breakups, when you go through anything, be accountable and turn within. Turn within yourself.
There's no way in the world that you will be able to follow a man's leadership, because you can't even follow basic instruction and understanding. That man sat there and talked to you for 3 minutes perfectly about the complementary nature of men and women, male and female. And you sat there, and the next thing out of your fool mouth was, in a perfect world, please get out of everybody's face. These would be the same chicks sitting somewhere talking about some, and I just need leadership I can follow. There is no leadership that you can follow, because there's no man's leadership style that you can follow, because you're not a good follower. That's why. It's not all these men's fault. All these chicks want to talk about leadership, but they don't talk about follow. Y'all don't want no man to y'all when he be hard with you. Iron, what they call it, iron fist and a velvet glove. Then he controlling. He doing too much. Then when he more flexible with you, then you try to step over him and act like he ain't really giving you no leadership. So it don't matter how he give a hyena leadership. Hyenas don't take leadership. That's the thing. That's the problem. Hyenas don't take leadership. That's the problem. Bad followers. You did not listen to understand. Good followers listen to understand the leader.
A lot of these modern women like to comment on a man's masculinity. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Well, I believe a man should be this, and this, right? But I think the problem is a lot of these modern women really don't have a concept of what a man is. You can have an opinion, but the unfortunate thing for a lot of these modern women is their opinion is wrong. Their opinion of what a man is and what a man should be is wrong. That's not actually how a man works. That's not actually how masculinity works. They don't know that. They're just talking about what they read in some book somewhere.
There's no way in the world that you will be able to follow a man's leadership, because you can't even follow basic instruction and understanding. That man sat there and talked to you for 3 minutes perfectly about the complementary nature of men and women, male and female. And you sat there, and the next thing out of your fool mouth was, in a perfect world, please get out of everybody's face. These would be the same chicks sitting somewhere talking about some, and I
I just need leadership I can follow. There is no leadership that you can follow because there's no man's leadership style that you can follow because you're not a good follower. That's why. It's not all these men's fault. All these chicks want to talk about leadership, but they don't talk about following. Y'all don't want no man to y'all when he be hard with you. Iron, what they call it, iron fist and a velvet glove. Then he controlling. He doing too much. Then when he more flexible with you, then you try to step over him and act like he ain't really giving you no leadership. So it don't matter how he give a hyena leadership. Hyenas don't take leadership. That's the thing. That's the problem. Hyenas don't take leadership. That's the problem. Bad followers. You did not listen to understand. Good followers listen to understand the leader.
Passport bros, they go over there and they think they just king. They just think they just king over there. Sir, you ain't king nothing because the next man with some money who walked up.
You're literally paying, but he's like, that's what they went over there for. He's like, they know. I'm like, I hope they know they nasty and that these girls will probably not even talk to them if they wasn't paying.
Exactly.
Because they going to treat you like a king, of course, for your 20 minutes, 40 minutes, your hour that you pay for. Yeah, you're going to be a king.
So what's the difference between passport bros and the men over here? Y'all don't mess with no broke men. Y'all don't mess with men that don't make six figures according to y'all, right? So either way, they go over there or they stay over here. They paying for it, right? And I'm not even a passport bro advocate, right? They do what they do. That's their thing. And I'm not defending them, but I am trying to understand your logic. Because what y'all ask for here in America, at least, y'all essentially ask men to pay for it, right? Whether that's dates, whether that's money, clothes, whether that's cash admin, y'all send you money. Like if y'all go out on a date and you got a kid, y'all expect the men to pay for a babysitter. So either way that man is going to spend money, that it just seems like those men are going to spend less money for the same end goal and probably a little bit more like in the middle, paying for a service, if you will. But y'all are doing the same. Like, women have done this to the modern dating world. You have commodified it. It is now a purchasing process. It's no longer a courting process. Y'all are mixing courting for what is essentially here and then getting mad that they're doing it over there. Y'all are the same people. As soon as the money is done, the girls ain't gonna be there no more. Yes! Y'all do the same thing. What are we talking about?
Baby, let me tell you something. See, the video that I posted about being 35 and hitting the wall and my perspective on that from my professional expertise, I absolutely expected the Passport Bros. I absolutely expected the Kevin Samuels Co. I absolutely expected the Podcast Boys, okay? But see, what I did not expect in such a high volume were men coming into the comments saying stuff like this. This was so refreshing. You see, me, I like to come at topics with a practical, logical lens, not trying to bash one group or another, but just being very honest about what I see based on either my personal experiences or my professional experiences. But when you touch on topics like these, where people tend to get in their feelings about, you get a lot of negative comments. But the fact that so many men were saying, listen, I don't care how old she is. So many men saying, listen, I'm 40, I'm 35, I'm 45. I don't want no woman under 35. I want me a woman that I could relate to. A woman that can bring me peace. A general consensus, ladies, was peace. And yes, I know before y'all go in the comments saying it, well, if he want peace, he got to bring me peace. Well, duh. Something I feel like I've been teaching for years is discernment. If a man is not bringing you peace, then you need to go your way. But if you have a man in your life, baby, that is bringing you peace, that's giving you the things that you need, if you're looking for a provider, he's providing for you and doing all that nice stuff that you want. Baby, be that man's peace. Baby, if you have a leader, okay, submit to that man. Baby, if you got a man that will bend over backwards for you, if you got a man that will put his life on the line for you, there should be absolutely nothing that you are unwilling to do for him. Within reason, okay? I'm not saying that we're not going to experience difficult times, but baby, because of the foundation that we built, we know how to weather that storm. Ladies, when you find a man like that, it is absolutely okay to be his peace, because as you are seeing, there's a lot of men out there who just want happiness. And ladies, go find you one that is making you happy and who you can make happy in return. Stay safe.
What? Gay?
Feminine.
Okay.
Very, very feminine. And be like, oh, that's because, he was raised by a single mother.
Bruh,
that's because he didn't have his father in his life to lead him and show him how men supposed to act in their cadence. Why is she blamed for that and not the absent person? It's always on the mother.
Now, the mama told the kids that the daddy didn't care and he wanted to be a deadbeat. That ugly money. But of course, when you talk to the daddy, when that baby go up old and 18, 19 years old and he go find his daddy, the daddy gonna have a whole different story. You see, your mama was fucking the goddamn security guard. That ugly money. She was fucking, right? Raw. That ugly money. And every time that your daddy tried to come pick you up in the early years after they broke up, your mama wouldn't let him see him unless he brought some money over there. That ugly money. Right? And then your mama called child support and got his license suspended, so he couldn't go to work. So then the nigga get pulled over, get locked up or whatever because he ain't have no license. So now he can't pay child support, right? Listen, hold on, I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay, now, all right? Now after he get out of jail after a week, guess what? He lost his job. So guess what happened? He go to jail again because he can't pay child support. So now 6 months on, 6 months off, daddy is in jail. That's why you ain't seen your daddy. That's why we blame them guys. Because she ruined his life. All because she wanted to be a hoe, the security guard.
I ain't gonna lie, you went first. Hey, you did your one too. I got out the way after a minute or two bombs.
At this point, I'm starting to think some of y'all just like to be broke. At this point, I'm thinking that y'all love to go to this job that you hate. $20,000 monthly. My content course is only $20 to teach you exactly what I did to make this. $20, $20,000 a month. $20, $20,000 a month. It's not rocket science. Everybody has that. Kids have $20. DM, # content, or just comment content below. Right here. Just comment content on this video, and I'm going to send you the exact course. Now, if you want more personalized information, we can get on the line directly. But the course is just $20 to make $20,000. Quit that job, click this link, and let's get rich. The ugly money.
What? Gay?
Feminine.
Okay.
Very, very feminine. And be like, oh, that's because, he was raised by a single mother. That's because he didn't have his father in his life to lead him and show him how men supposed to act in their cadence. Why is she blamed for that and not the absent person? It's always on the mother.
Now, the mama told the kids that the daddy didn't care and he wanted to be a deadbeat. That ugly money. But of course, when you talk to the daddy, when that baby go up old and 18, 19 years old and he go find his daddy, the daddy gonna have a whole different story. You see, your mama was fucking the goddamn security guard. That ugly money. She was fucking, right? Raw. That ugly money. And every time that your daddy tried to come pick you up in the early years after they broke up, your mama wouldn't let him see him unless he brought some money over there. That ugly money. Right? And then your mama called child support and got his license suspended, so he couldn't go to work. So then the nigga get pulled over, get locked up or whatever because he ain't have no license. So now he can't pay child support, right? Listen, hold on, I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay, now, all right? Now after he get out of jail after a week, guess what? He lost his job. So guess what happened? He go to jail again because he can't pay child support. So now 6 months on, 6 months off, daddy is in jail. That's why you ain't seen your daddy. That's why we blame them guys. Because she ruined his life. All because she wanted to be a hoe, the security guard.
I ain't gonna lie, you went first. Hey, you did your one too. I got out the way after a minute or two bombs.
At this point, I'm starting to think some of y'all just like to be broke. At this point, I'm thinking that y'all love to go to this job that you hate. $20,000 monthly. My content course is only $20 to teach you exactly what I did to make this. $20, $20,000 a month. $20, $20,000 a month. It's not rocket science. Everybody has that. Kids have $20. DM, # content, or just comment content below. Right here. Just comment content on this video, and I'm going to send you the exact course. Now, if you want more personalized information, we can get on the line directly. But the course is just $20 to make $20,000. Quit that job, click this link, and let's get rich. The ugly money.
And you have to understand that when you ask about where all the good men are, a lot of these men are quiet. They're right in front of you. They didn't disappear. They just quiet. I'm selective. I'm less willing to throw myself into another situation that looks and that feels unserious. You look and you feel unserious. This whole thing that we got going on looks and feels unserious. It looks like you playing around. You about to play with my money, about to play with my time. Some of these brothers got kids, and you about to play with my kids. And if you start doing that, you might have a problem.